Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today we're going to take a look inside Saint-Lô, Normandy, 1944. The Breakout begins. This is a game designed by Joe Balkowski and published by War Drum Games in conjunction with Quarterdeck International and distributed by Compass Games. And this is now shipping from Compass Games, and one of the things you'll notice is you'll get the game in shrink, but the rulebook will be outside the box, and that is because it is printed at a slightly different size. Because I think it was printed like US size, and this is like A4 or something like that, because you'll see the size is slightly different. It will fit in the box, but Compass made the decision to not ship it in the box because it would just be kind of crushed by the time you get to it. So it's better off just to leave it outside, and you can decide if you want to keep it outside the box or put it in yourself as you unpack this game and get it all set up. I'm not going to read the back of the box because it's in Chinese and I don't know how to read Chinese. So we're just going to jump right into taking a look at what you get inside this game. All right, got our 1d6. We have an errata sheet and a sticker sheet. And it says here, Saint-Lô errata 1.0. There are 4 extra allied units. Do not play with these 4. The compass is off on the map. West is really north. And then it says here there are 3 map corrections. Map corrections are in thirds. First, double check the numbers, cut them carefully, yada, yada, yada. And it tells you what parts of the map need to be fixed. And this will be fixed with this sticker sheet. You're going to be peeling out these stickers and applying them to the map because they were missing some elevation changes that are not on the mounted map. So just going to be putting that on. We'll take a look at those a little closer when we get to the map. We've got our player aids. And as I said before, we have our rulebook that comes separate, the counter sheets in shrink wrap, and our mounted map. So let's set up the map and take a closer look at the game. And here's a look at the mounted map that comes with the game. It is a beautifully done map. Love the color palette. Everything just really pops out at you very, very well. And it's very easy to read. At the top left, we have the turn record track. Next to that, we have the tactical action points track. And below that, we have the weather track. The compass down here is noted in the errata is off. West is actually north, so north is going to be facing that way. And then we also have the errata, which we're going to take a closer look at with those stickers here in a moment. And we'll take a closer look at one of the pieces of errata. This will give you an idea of what is going to be corrected with those stickers. See here, 3627, 3527, 3628, and 3727. You're going to take this sticker here, you're just going to peel it out and then apply it right in here. You can see that it is missing an elevation marker right there for the elevation it's going to be in the game. The map here, you're not going to have a lot of open space. Everything's going to be bocage, so it's all going to be tight spaces. And elevations are going to play a massive part in the game with line of sight and things like that. So that is important that that is caught and corrected, which these stickers will do. And as it even recommends on the sheet, I would say the same thing as well. Put a little bit of maybe a drop or 2 of white glue on there on the map and apply the sticker, or put it on the sticker when you apply it to the map, and then make sure to flatten it out nice and clean, and then make sure it sits for a while before you touch it. It should hold pretty well, but we'll have to check that out when we go and correct the map. But it is important to have that, and it's good to see that they did correct that. Now we'll take a look at the player aids that come with the game. First up is the U.S. artillery display, and you can see it gives you a breakdown for the 29th Division, 35th Division, the 2nd Division, and the 19th Corps on the right-hand side. Then we have the German artillery display for the 3rd Fallschirmjäger, 352nd Division, and the 2nd Fallschirmjäger Corps. Then we have the German division display, the U.S. division display. The next sheet starts the charts and tables. We have the armor superiority chart, combat results table, and the artillery summary at the bottom. On the reverse side, we have the numerical information summary and the reinforcement chart. And on the final player aid, we have the observation summary, barrage table, and the long-range artillery table on the front. And on the back, we have the tactical actions chart, the terrain effects chart, and the sequence of play outline on the right-hand side. And we'll take a look at the counter sheets that come with the game. You see the U.S. forces on the first sheet. There are 2 numbers on each counter. The left number is the combat value, and the right number is the anti-tank value. For the tank units, You see their numbers are in parentheses, and the left number is the armor value, and the right number is the anti-tank value. For artillery pieces, there are 3 numbers. The leftmost number is the support value, the middle number is the defensive value, and the right number is the long-range value. On the next sheet, we have the German units, as well as some of the administrative counters along the bottom. And on the final sheet, we have the remainder of the administrative counters. Next, we'll take a look at the rules. This is a 28-page full-color rulebook. On the front cover, we have the table of contents listing out all the rules, the associated case numbers, and page numbers for easy reference during play. Inside of the front cover, we have the introduction, setting up what's going on in Saint-Lô. Then we have the component listing for the maps, the playing pieces, and the breakdown of the counters, so that way you know what all the counters do, including your administrative counters, counter abbreviations, game scale, and then glossary is explained to you here. Then we get into the sequence of play on page 5, breaking down all the steps for the sequence of play, all the different phases. And then we get into the zones of control, assets, and if you notice here, before we go any further, a couple of call-out boxes here. We've got green ones are design notes, and then the kind of yellow ones there are examples. So that will be text examples of play, and then design notes, as you can see, will be called out throughout the rule book. We have another example here. This one's for reassignment. Then we get into headquarters activations, tactical actions, listing out all the different types of tactical actions and how to accomplish those in the game. Then we get into movement, different types of movement, stacking, combat, all the steps for combat. We have an example of headquarter activation and tactical actions here, illustrated example. Your combat DRMs, assignment of assets, defending armor. Then we have an example of an attack initiation and a text example of combat resolution. Then we have artillery in combat, fire missions, normal, rapid, and maximum fire, final fire value, on-call fire, defensive fire. Then we get into observation. You have observation posts, how to place them, the different types of levels, and over on the right-hand side, you see the different levels of the maps, because remember, on the map, nothing is clear. Everything is bocage or heavy undergrowth, and you're going to have different levels, 7, 8, 9, and 10, as it shows here, and that's what the different colors will mean on the map. And you also have the different elevation markers as well. Then we get into reorganization and build-up. And then a couple of examples illustrated for observation. Entrenchments, barrage fire, airstrikes, interdiction fire, recon units, reinforcements. And then we have the headquarters phase and then setting up on page 23. And this will give you the steps for setting up as well as your orders of battle for both the US and Germans. Then we have the victory conditions, and then we have an optional rule here for counter battery fire. Then there's a little bit of errata. Then we have player notes for both the German and US player, and then historical notes based on each turn, which is kind of interesting here. You can go through the game, you can read each of the different pieces of history per turn, which I think is pretty cool. And then we are at the back of the rulebook where we have the credits and the bibliography. And that is a look at everything you get inside of Saint-Lô, Normandy, 1944, The Breakout begins. This is a game designed by Joe Balkowski and published by War Drum Games in association with Quarterdeck International and distributed by Compass Games. Well, Joe Balkowski's got a very long and storied career. He's got a lot of games to his credit. So when I heard this one was being redone, the original came out in '86 through West End Games, and there was going to be a lot of improvements, not only graphically, but they're going to be cleaning up the rules. I wanted to give this one a shot. Pre-rounded counters, gotta love it, and beautifully done mounted map. Yeah, there's a couple errors, but they did include the stickers, which will make it a lot easier to correct, and that shouldn't be that big of a problem. But I really like the component quality and looking forward to checking this one out. It's a beautifully done game, so hopefully the gameplay will equal the look of the game. Well, I hope that helps you guys out if you've been curious about this one. If you have any comments or questions, post them down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.